In this first week of the course, we'll cover the basics of the brain and nervous system, neurons, neuroplasticity, and neurogenesis. We'll talk about the importance of meditation, and we'll introduce some basic back exercises. We'll start today with the brain and nervous system and one back exercise to get you going. There are two essential components to improving how you think: knowing how your mind works and being sensitive to its states, and knowing how to alter those states. These are both skills that can be developed. Now, when you think of it, it's surprising that it's taken us so long to figure out that we need to do things in order to keep our brains healthy, and further that there are specific things we can and should do in order to achieve this end. Of course, there are reasons why it's taken this long, and one of them is the hard-to-shake idea that our brains, our minds, are somehow separate from our bodies. But the fact is, we can't have thoughts, desires, pains, and so on without a brain or something that functions like a brain. Our brain can't function like a brain without the entire nervous system, and our brain plus the nervous system together can't do anything without a body. That sci-fi idea that we can download ourselves into a computer is just nonsense. There'd be nothing to download because it's your body that essentially makes you you. We know that we need to exercise our bodies in order to keep them in prime physical condition, and we know that if we don't exercise our muscles, for example, they'll atrophy. We are now discovering, what shouldn't be all that surprising, that our brains are no different. Synaptic connections that don't get used, for example, atrophy and wither away. Neurons that aren't connected die. Many people don't make a direct connection between the health of their back and the health of their brain, but they should. As you can see in this picture of the nervous system, our brains are connected to our bodies via the spinal cord, the large bundle of nerves running from our brains via the brain stem through our spinal column. Electrical and chemical signals are constantly being sent up and down the nervous system, which includes the central nervous system, the nerve cells that are in the brain and spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, the nerve cells, generally sensory and motor, in the rest of the body. A typical adult human has upwards of 100 billion neural and glial cells. That's more cells in the average human brain than there are elementary particles in the universe. Keeping this spinal pathway limber is critical to ensuring maximal neural communication throughout your body. That means that back exercises are among the most important that you can do for yourself. Think about your spine as made up of three general sections: bottom, middle, and top. You want to get to all three areas every day. Here are 4 exercises that do just that. You should incorporate these into your daily routine: spinal stretch, lower spine flex, middle spine flex, and cobra pose. Fortunately, these exercises are quick and simple and can be done for the most part right in your office. I'll walk you through the spinal stretch right now. If you can manage it, stand up and try this as I talk you through it. Stand up straight and stretch your arms above your head. Mentally focus on the vertebrae in your spine and imagine them separating. You want to increase the space between each vertebra. Breathe deeply and fully, always through your nose, while you're doing anything really, but especially when you're doing these exercises. This is what will send the freshly oxygenated blood to the usually constricted areas along your spinal column. Now, you have a choice here. Either keep your arms stretched up above your head, you can interlock your hands and stretch your index finger forward, as we see in some yoga schools, or you can drop your right arm to your side. Stretch to the right, holding the posture. Try to keep your mental focus on your spine and that space between vertebrae. Hold for 30 seconds if you have the time, and breathe. Today we'll just hold for a couple of seconds. Come back up to the middle. If you have both arms stretching up above your head, keep them there, readjusting your grip if necessary. Otherwise, drop your left arm to your side and stretch your right arm above your head. Stretch your torso to the left. Try not to torque your spine. You want to go straight to the side. Keep your eyes straight, not looking down, and your chest facing forward. Hold and breathe. If you cannot breathe comfortably, you've gone too deep. Ease off until you can take deep breaths. Come back up to the middle. For those of you who regularly do back bends in yoga, go ahead and keep your arms stretching above your head as you move into the back bend. Everyone else, support your lower back with your hands as you tighten up your abdominals and your glutes and drop your head right back. Imagine your hips pushing forward. This is a great stretch because it gets to the rib cage area and there are many glands here. By stretching the tissue around them in this way, you send blood and electrical impulses to those areas of your body, activating them. This is key to keeping your hormonal system in balance. Breathe deeply in the posture and then come back up to the middle. Finally, tightening your abdominals, bend forward, keeping your spine as straight as possible, and rest your hands on the floor. Try to straighten your legs. Hold and breathe. Come back up to the middle. Okay, that's your spinal stretch. You can do it in 1 minute or less if you do a real quick set, and you can do it anywhere. Try to do it many times a day. See you tomorrow.